projects and stuff, they get pregnant just to live off the system.
Well, I'm sure maybe that could be accounted for some people, but I feel like we shouldn't generalize.
No, I'm not. Again, it's not all women, but I'm saying like the women that I've heard plenty of times, and then you watch their motives.
I mean, you know,
because it's just like this. Just like men don't trust women, women don't trust men.
Okay, so there's this whole big saying.
I just want to say where I grew up at.
No, like there's this great saying, right? Like, it used to be like when you're in training, oh, what population you can't work with, and a lot of people will be like, I can never work with pedophiles. Pedophiles? No, no, I will never work with pedophile, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, that's true. Like that, that's like anybody. That's the number one population. Like pedophiles, people who I will never work with them. Like fuck them. Like kill them. I'm just saying. Like
and they work with them all the time.
That's what they say. That's what they
say. But like the thing is, and like I've had like hurt people.
That's
one of our segments. Broken homes produce broken homes.
Right. Like,
but so, that's how child molestation goes on.
You gotta make a choice though. Like here's the thing, and I don't want to be that person, but in this age, it's not the same as like 20 years ago. In this age of information, it's a little different.
But the feelings is still the same.
The feelings are the same, but
so how do you expect?
Let me just tell you real quick.
I'm listening.
Like it's not the same. No, the feelings are the same. Like the emotional turmoil that people experience are the same. However, it's a different time. People have to take ownership.
I 100%.
Like it becomes a time where you got to take ownership. Like people like their experience to be so unique.
What's that Jamaican song? They said. I think it was Bob Marley who said everyone they what he said.
Come correct now.
No, everyone think they burden is the worst burden. Something I forgot what it's called.
I don't know, but like, look.
Oh, I think everyone thinks they burden is the heaviest.
Right.
Something like that.
But it's the same proverb. It's the same concept of if we all got problems, if we all tossed our problems in the fucking pot, like
could
shit,
be.
I'll take my shit back.
Right, yeah,
could be. You want to hope that, but most people's so ego driven that they truly believe their problem is the worst problem in the world.
That's what Bob Marley said. Everybody.
And then so like they believe like their problem is so unique, and they believe like no one in the whole existence of humanity has ever experienced what I experienced.
Which is crazy.
Like, bruh.
Which is crazy.
Like, dude, I'm not saying I get it, because I don't. And I'm not saying, like, your pain. Like, I don't understand your pain. But, like, you might not understand my pain. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. What's worse to you as a woman? I like to ask women this question. Because it goes on to my topic. Have you ever had a toothache before?
I have.
What's worse, a toothache or pregnancy?
Oh my god.
Pregnancy or childbirth?
Like this.
Childbirth. I'm sorry, childbirth.
Okay. I won't even do this one.
No, it goes into what she's saying.
Of course, it's like it's childbirth.
You think it's childbirth?
No, I've had.
You're the first. My word is Bontola. I asked so many women. You're the first woman that ever seen
have they
childbirth.
given birth naturally?
Was yes, naturally.
Fuck that.
And like even my children's mother, Fran says she'd rather do push out more children than having a toothache. Because, and my mom said this. Actually, my mom said the same thing.
Son. No, I get it. Because, like, and I've had an infected. Y'all.
Yeah, that head was rocking. Right?
That hit is different.
Yeah, that meant you was crying. I know tears came. Tears had to come out.
All my life. It was infected.
Oh yeah, that's
like it was infected, and it was like one of the worst pains of my life. Like that shit hit my soul.
Wow, yeah, that had to...
Right? Like, yeah, it's like the fucking worst. It's like when I tell you the worst, the shit hit like if it's this tooth, it hit this part of your head.
Yo, for real. Like, I understand. So many women. You're the first woman that ever said that pregnancy was worse than
not pregnancy, childbirth.
Childbirth was worse than than I'm telling. And let me tell you something. I went months asking women, like whoever came to my barbershop, and any general question, I'd be like, yo, what's worse, a toothache or pregnancy? And they'd be like, I get pregnancy all day long over a toothache. I heard that unanimously
I hope you're saying childbirth.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm talking.
You said pregnancy.
Well, I normally put it as pushing out a child.
No, pushing out a child is not the problem.
So what's the problem?
Like, that's like the easy part.
So what's the hard part?
The hard part is labor.
Labor, going through the contractions and stuff like that.
With my daughter, I was in labor for 17 hours.
Wow, you know that's crazy. My mom was in labor with me for 17 hours.
Okay, so like that's the thing.
So y'all good enough?
No, like
I ain't good. Her and my mom good. They could relate. I don't know. I was just a baby.
Like, labor is serious. But the thing is, like, with the toothache and like the toothache where it's like infected, like for me, like that shit was infected, and like it was like so awful. But labor is different. Cause like labor is not just like your body going through like the most physical pain. Mm-hmm. It's like mentally you also like, I don't know what's about to pop off. Anything can pop off.
Right.
So Sky was the worst.
No. Tristan was the worst.
Tristan?
Yeah.
They say normally the first child be the one.
That dude had.
You know what it was? I had.
You had a lot of hair.
Oh, so that was like you was feeling like the hair.
No, I think because he was probably the biggest baby.
Oh, that's what it is. See, I was my mom's biggest baby, so maybe that's the reason why everybody else was easy.
So what were you, like 10 pounds?
I was a big baby. I ain't gonna hold you.
Brennan was almost 9. Tristan was almost 9 pounds.
I think I was 10 pounds and something.
Wow.
Yeah, you look like you was 10 pounds.
No, I was a big baby.
Tristan,
I look like I was.
Yeah, I do think the bigger the baby is, like the.
And then all the other ones. Yeah, I'm calling all y'all the other ones. All my other siblings, they was easy to push out.
Were you the first?
I was the first. I'm the oldest.
Oh no.
So just for the record, he called y'all runts.
I was the longest and the biggest baby.
Yeah, the first baby's always generally the longest. Sky was the longest, but like Tristan was the most painful. Brennan was the easiest.
Yeah, you done pushed out 2 already.
No.
See, you have to understand, each child comes out with a different mission. Tristan was like, yo, I'm not ready to come out yet.
Yeah, he was.
That's Karima. Karima wasn't ready to come out.
Like, I'm not ready to come out yet.
The first oldest twin, she wanted to come. She was ready.
Came out vaginally?
Yeah, vaginally. She came out. Actually, you know the funny part is? So Kamaya came out. Zoe and Kamaya is natural birth.
How many pounds were they? I'm asking somebody. It's okay.
First of all, you put me on camera. She probably gonna be looking at this joint like, you don't even know how much. That's just another text. I'm gonna get a text, but you don't even know how much it weigh. I'm like, listen, I got it somewhere written.
But twins are usually like 5 pounds,
because
6 ounces.
They're sharing the weight.
No, they were smaller because they actually came out earlier. So they came out 7 months because.
Oh wow!
So this what happens when if you wanna technically you're supposed to wait 2 years in order for you to have
right.
So it takes 2 years for a woman to fully heal completely. So when you have twins.
Immediately after having
people who have twins normally are producing a child earlier than 9 to 10 months most of the time. So it goes even much faster when you don't wait 2 years.
No, I know. Like, so they were small.
They were small, and they stayed in the hospital. Yo, we was there like every day.
Months?
For 1 month. So she was 7 months when she pushed them out.
Okay, so they waited till they were
8 months but they was like they wanted to give them like so many different type of medicine and stuff. I was like, no, Don't worry about it. She was producing all of the milk. Mm-hmm. They strengthened up like this, like they were strengthened up. And really, in reality, they was ready. The doctor said they was ready to come home like after the 3rd week, but they stayed another week
just to make sure.
Just to make sure. And they was just so they wanted to try to. I've learned they try to give and for your bones and stuff to grow faster. They give people caffeine. I didn't even know that.
I've never heard of that.
They give babies caffeine, like doses of caffeine.
Steroids or caffeine?
It's like instead of steroids.
Caffeine could be used as steroid.
Instead of steroids, like you know how steroids help produce strength stimulate. Caffeine does that. And I didn't. It's crazy. I've learned, but they didn't do it for them. We stopped everything. We don't want no shit. Obviously, we don't do shots. We don't do none of that. So I was like, her breast milk, this is liquid gold right here. All right. Mm-hmm. So, and it was dope. So they was ready a month later, and she was producing so much. That was probably the time, that 1 month that I wasn't really at the barbershop all the time, where I'd be like, yo, I'm on my way.
You were drinking the milk yourself.
Stop it. She produced a lot while giving Zoe milk, because Zoe was still being...
How old was she?
Zoe, probably week 1.
Right after Zoe, she got pregnant like 4 months after she produced Zoe.
I'm not about that life.
But it wasn't
like he didn't let it heal.
Like it definitely wasn't intentional. It definitely wasn't intentional.
I'm not doing that.
He hit her up in the most fertile moment, like right after birth. Like you gonna take this?
It was. I don't know what I was thinking. I ain't gonna hold you. I really don't know even what I was thinking.
I believe in
which I think that was even much more of a burden on our relationship.
That gotta be tough.
She didn't let her go through the whole postpartum,
She didn't even get through the first part. First of all, I don't even think she was in postpartum with Zoe yet until...
And then she got pregnant.
We was being selfish.
No, you were being
I don't even think she got in postpartum yet. And then she became pregnant again.
Oh, no.
So, it was when she finally hit postpartum, our relationship went down the hill when she hit postpartum.
Oh, my God. Wait, can you imagine?
So, I've learned and I understand. I've learned so much from it, and I've learned my mistakes. I've learned.
Do you want to have more children?
Of course, I want at least 3 or 4 more children.
I mean, that seems like a lot.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I only got 3.
But the whole Muslim community, they just gotta populate it.
Nah, it's not even like that. I just really, it's not even because some Muslims only want 1 child or none. Listen, let me just say this: just because they Muslim don't mean they had the same. A woman is a woman, bro. They could be wrapped up in the sun, moon, and stars. Trust and believe. It doesn't matter.
If they want, they gonna
that doesn't matter. A woman is a woman.
You want 3 more children?
Yeah, because I want at least 2 boys.
If you
but he doesn't have any. No, he has 3 girls right now.
I have 3 girls.
But what if you have 2 more girls?
Then I'm gonna keep shooting for a boy. At least 1 boy.
And then when it's child number 7 is still a girl.
Yeah, I just gotta make more money.
Nah, but
and then are you okay with child number 9 being the boy?
Yeah.
Nah, at that point you just gotta realize, my nigga.
No, I'm gonna be a dad.
You're having the true children that are retrospective.
I'm gonna be a girl dad.
That's a lot.
What they said. 9 be a good number. That's perfection.
Yeah, 3's a good number too.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Nah, I need a boy.
3's a good number.
But what if it's okay? You have to be okay if you don't.
Dogs.
I think
there's some dudes. There's some dudes
children
that only
and they all girls. That's 6'1", we're gonna manipulate this. We're gonna go to the doctors. Hey, listen. Find that Y chromosome and put that thing.
He gonna come out a boy, but still manipulated. So you gonna fuck around with something.
No, but they know how. Listen, they know how to take that Y.
No, they don't.
Sperm.
No, they don't.
Huh?
They know how to give you a child.
You could genetically
alter.
Yeah, that's child.
No, you don't want to genetically alter. You just find a Y chromosome.
No, there's nothing
you can do.
I
think there's a point where you just accept the fact that, nigga, I'm just having all girls. That's what it is. You just gotta buy more guns. You know what? You just gotta buy more guns.
Anyway.
That's it.
Whatever, you know.
It is stressful though. I have to say, can I tell you real quick?
I'm listening.
It is stressful, especially it's like me. I know men determine the sex of the child.
That's right.
So like in that I wasn't like stressed, but like when we got pregnant with Sky and we found out it was a girl, I was ecstatic. Mm-hmm. Like she would be the first girl in the family.
That's right.
Our family is just
it's dominated by boys.
Boys. We birthed a lot of boys. And so I was just like, oh my God.
Well, your rich popped up. Oh no, that's
it's just us.
No. Yeah, y'all just
it's just it's just so I was just like, oh my God. And she was the first girl, and I was like, yo, when I tell you I was on cloud nine, I was like, it was the best feeling in the world. It's like lovely. And then, okay, we got pregnant again. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hope it's a boy. Because it's like, you know why?
Yeah, I really be thinking that the woman in her mind, because both times, Fran wanted girls. And that's exactly what the hell happened.
I don't know.
Like, bro, like, I'm telling you, yo, I got mad as
I don't know.
You was hoping that them twins came out boys, so you just knocked
at least one boy, one girl.
Right.
If I had one boy, one girl, I probably, I would think, like, my next relationship, my next marriage, like,
can I have more seltzer?
She has to have, like, I can't not give her a child if she wants a child.
No, you should certainly give her a child. You know
plus, I want a big family anyway.
But I feel like you shouldn't put that pressure. Like, that's the thing. And it's always, everybody's a genius in retrospect, right? Especially when you got, like, boys and girls. So that's what happens, right?
Tell it. I'm about to say it to the people who got a boy and a girl.
When you have both. But, like, no, the thing is, like, there's not a lot of Ajaxes. There isn't. And he told me that from, like, the get. He was like, there's not a lot.
So you had to produce two of them things.
No,
I got you. Because obviously the girl, her name,
it's not gonna carry.
He told me, he was like, not like, you need to have a son for me. No, we would just have like deep conversations like about life and everything like that. And he would just talk about like there aren't a lot of him in terms of Ajaxes.
Now this go to the name. Yeah. Listen, I said now my daughters got holy names. Their last name is Ali. They're not marrying any guy with a slave last name, and they're gonna take. No, they could marry the guy, but they're not taking their last name. You don't know that.
Wait till your daughters are adults.
Don't say that. Just talk to them.
First of all, I would encourage the guy to take on the holy name.
And
the reason being is because
Babe,
I want to. First of all, I'm not talking to the girls because they ain't running nothing in the goddamn way.
Wait, could you imagine?
I'm trying to tell you something.
Babe, could you imagine if I was like, babe, I would like you, Gene, especially him being who he is. So, Ajax is technically a slave name.
Ain't gonna happen.
So if you could relinquish that.
No, but listen, no.
Ain't gonna happen.
We had this conversation. I think you was talking about it before.
Yeah, we were talking about it in barbershop.
I'm saying, but it all depends on names. It determines the perspective of, like, if your last name is goddamn Johnson or Green, and then you marry a woman with holy names. Why would you want your woman?
We can't say holy names. Any name could be holy.
No.
Wait. Stop.
We're not going to use that.
Stop. But we could use names that have
meanings,
power to them. Let's just say, for example, right now, Bill Gates' daughter grew up, married somebody. She probably has full right to say, I'm not taking on your name.
Because you're talking about the Gates. But listen,
but that's what usually happens when a name has some type of power behind it.
I'm about to say, you're talking about a name with power. I'm not just telling you just power. I'm saying meaning with power.
I'm saying that too.
So, like, if your name means something holy, or if your name, like, these are names of that we're called God, why would you want her to relinquish as I'm just talking about as a husband, why, and you're the general, you want to make the last decision when no one is taking that right from you. But I'm saying though, it's why would you want your woman, It's one thing if she got a slave name, like you got a slave name. Obviously, y'all going to need. It's the same thing in my mind.
Okay.
And she's going to take your name. Cool. But if she has a holy name, something Ali means some highness, exalted, and then she's gonna go to a Johnson.
Well, no, okay, if I may, I don't want to be like, I don't want to.
We can't with somebody higher.
Hold on, babe. I don't want to quote like, but like, what's in a name?
A good name.
No, not like that. Like,
here we go.
You know how like I don't want to quote like William Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
But Juliet sees Romeo. Mm-hmm. You know the story. Mm-hmm. It's like our families are like boom, 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 boom,
fighting
boom.
against each other. Yeah.
And then she's like she sees Romeo, love at first sight. She's like, never felt this way in my whole life.
She was what?
And then she's like, then she finds out, like, oh shit, that's a Montague.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like, that's a Montague. Like what the fuck? I'm a Capulet. Like our families is like ancient. We know we do not fuck with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But she's like, no, like this shit don't come around this often.
Mm-hmm. She was in love with Romeo.
So she's like, Romeo. So essentially she's like, what's in your name? Like, what is it about your name that I should automatically hate you? That it's inherent.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm born and I inherently hate you.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, that doesn't make sense. You're talking about two different things.
No. It's the same thing.
How? When we're talking about a slave name,
I'm not talking
about a slave name.
The slave name would be the inherit name.
But inherit by your slave master.
No, inherit by anybody.
No, it's just that you can't say by anybody. It came from your slave
I understand. It doesn't have to be literal. It could be like, look, listen. The slave name to you would be like a Johnson. No disrespect. Mm-hmm. But then an inherit name in that type of society would be like a Capricorn, right? but yet, you know, leprechaun would be like the other name that is the nemesis to that name.
But we give power to like
things.
We are the one that like you,
right?
Your like your essence is what essentially gives power to anything in this world, including your last name. So you're saying, listen to me for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You believe, and that's fine. Like it's totally appropriate. Mm-hmm. Like in terms of slave names and and like that's fine. If that gives you meaning and like whatever in terms of your existence and your processing, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is it's beyond that.
Of course.
So when you say like your last name is Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your last name is Johnson, right? And my last name is Ali, and that is a holy name. Like I'm not using your last name. I'm just like, because you've given it that power. Right?
Well, of course.
No, you've given it that power because you've made it something.
But hold on, no. I didn't. Prior to me, my predecessor, our ancestors, before they had slave names, their names, they all, like when you go to Africa, when you ask them what's their last names, all of them got holy names.
Could be.
Right? I'm saying all of their names mean something. When you go to when you go to anybody.
But what is language?
I mean, regardless of the language, it's a name that means something.
But who decided what it meant?
We did.
But when?
Prior to me and you was even born.
But
prior to even being, we did.
But when?
Our ancestors.
But who told you that?
Our ancestors.
Your ancestors told you that.
Well, it comes from when you do your history and then you meet people from our holy lands.
So a reality. And then they say,
a reality was based upon what we made it to be. That's why we call ourselves gods.
It was constructed so that you believe.
Not just that for you to believe, but here go great people who done great things and had names that mean things.
Right.
And we pass that down from generations to generations.
And you really think that a name
is better than gold?
I don't like I do agree like a name is important.
So it's just like the Bible. The Bible says a good name is better than gold.
What that mean? No, that's not.
And then it says it
hold
talks
on,
about.
dog. You ain't let me cut my
means.
wife off. Like you won't let her speak.
I'm
Goddamn.
getting double team right now.
No,
I'm listening. What you?
That's not what that
said,
means.
Son? Yes, it does.
No.
That's all right. So in the book of Daniel, right?
The name, like, and
it says that the slave names or the slaves' names will be changed.
Right.
And they went from holy names to slave names. And then it says that when the last messenger will come and he will restore the holy names back to the slaves. So again,
you really think that?
So what does it's not that I don't think that. I know that I watch and see what a good name does. I watch I go around white folks. This is my personal experience.
Right.
When I go around white folks and I use O'Neal for whatever reason I need to use O'Neal for.
Right.
Right. And then I use Ali, whatever I need to use Ali for.
Right.
The reaction, for them not even knowing who I am, is totally different.
Dude, like, okay, a small mind is a small mind, and you can get a small mind in the depths of Africa, and you can get a small mind in the center of Europe. That means nothing.
But from your point of view.
No, like, I get what you're saying. Don't try it.
Yo, I'm asking.
But don't.
Listen,
don't try it. Don't be like from your point of view.
No, but it is
excuse me if I may. Don't be like from your pedestal, like you can say that. And don't, because that's not okay. Nope, that's not it.
I'm saying from your point of view.
I'm talking about philosophically speaking. Like, we're beyond that. Like, I just want to get beyond that. Like, okay, let's talk about this is the problems of the world. And like, we talk about them all the time. But if we could just get to the next level, let's get right here real quick. Because we are always right here talking about the same shit. But let's get right here real quick. If we elevate just a little bit, what does it all mean?
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm a black man. I don't want to be called, my name shouldn't be after white people.
What do you mean?
Well, for instance, when you say if a Chinese man came and he said his name was Patrick Murphy, it would look funny on him.
Okay.
Because he's a Chinese man with an Irish name.
Okay.
Right? And it doesn't look, if it doesn't look proper for a Chinese man to walk around meaning or being Patrick Murphy, then it shouldn't look right or proper for a black man to walk around with a name or being Patrick Murphy. So I like O'Neal or Johnson or Green or things that's frivolous. So, and I understand we grew up in the era that we used, like, for instance,
literally used the appropriate word. Did you just say frivolous?
Yeah.
It's appropriate. It's totally appropriate. You know what? And I don't speak for everybody. But if a Asian man came here and his name is Patrick Murphy, I'm like, oh, that's odd. Maybe. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about his name.
But you would think it's odd though.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, your name is Patrick Murphy.
Of course, I think eventually everybody would get over it.
No, it's not about getting over it.
Well, or would say,
see, there's a difference
it'd be odd, or would say, oh, you know, it's odd, but you're gonna continue moving forward.
No, it's not getting over it. I don't care.
Yeah, and so you speaking from, of course, I think technically.
Who is he?
I think technically no one would truly, really care.
You know who I want to know?
But you know who will care?
Who?
His people.
Would they?
Which is, well, you see.
Could they? Maybe. I don't know.
You don't see Chinese people walking around named Patrick Murphy.
Well, listen, they may not be walking around Patrick Murphy, but at the same time, they would be walking around. They would be walking around accepting the fact that you got somewhat of an American name. The reason why I can say this is because I work with a couple of Asian people. They have names like Shong Shai, Hung Wang. No, I'm not making fun of the names. I respect these people. But I'm just telling you what the name sounds like. But to make it easier in the American ear, wherever or whenever they go for like, you know, ESL classes to help them develop and be incorporated, they get English names by these people.
They say what they first name. So their last name isn't.
No, it never changes. But
I'm about to say, because that's the most important part of the name. So we're taught whatever first or middle name that our mothers want to name us. Okay, cool. But that last name, which carries on, which is why they can change their first or middle name could be English all day long. But that last name, that surname, is the most important name, and especially in the East, which is that name carries on. That's your family legacy, which is why sometimes, even if we're going to use this term, like the Rothschilds, like if you marry a Rothschild, your name change.
I'm not taking that last name.
You wouldn't even marry her. You wouldn't even. Well, then you can't marry her, because her, one thing for certain, her name ain't gonna change.
I guess I'm gonna miss on that bread. I don't hate that pussy though.
The thing I don't understand about that whole concept or that premise is this: like, Africa is very large, and that, what is that like in terms of when you say like Ali and those are yada yada yada?
That's an African name.
That doesn't apply for the whole continent.
No, but everybody in Africa, if you ask them, rather Nigeria, Uganda, rather South Africa, rather they don't walk around. Their last names. They don't walk around with their conquerors.
No, I know. I understand what you're saying.
They don't do that.
I understand, but I feel like that's like when you're saying, okay,
the Asians don't either.
So the Persians, the Arabians,
but the Persians are white people. No.
No. We're not gonna go into that right now. No, we're not gonna go to that right now.
The Persians are white people.
Dogs, I work for the census. We're not doing that.
But they, all right.
Okay,
hold on. Regardless of what the census says.
Okay. All I'm saying is so you typically what I hear in terms of, especially like in terms of like Muslim last name, I hear of like essentially a dynasty, an empire. That had a stronghold at a period of time. That's all that was, right? It was a brown empire. So I get what you're saying. But that is not a definitive.
But it's not about religion.
If I may. I wasn't talking about religion.
You got one more time to disrupt my wife.
But I wasn't talking about religion.
One more game.
I don't want no problem.
You're talking about a stronghold in a period of time. So you're talking about an empire that had a stronghold at a period of time. Which is fine, of course. Any empire that had a stronghold at a period of time would have explored the world, right? So you could go to the depths of Africa and you can say Caesar. They'd be like, I know who the fuck that is, right? Like